Alrighty guys, just making a short video on a rod repair. So my friend has this St. Croix Mojo Surf. It's a 7-footer. He's had this for about a year, I believe. So last year when we were going for Albies, as we were heading home, he shut this pour rod in his rear driver's side window. And as you see, it's snapped off quite a bit. So I believe it's like 4 or 5 inches snapped off there. So I'm just gonna run you through how to repair something like this. So he doesn't actually, I don't want to say he doesn't care about the rod, but we're gonna repurpose it for a heavier fluke rod. So here's what you need. Fine tooth detail saw. I actually have a bunch of tip tops, so I always make sure I have a bunch of these on hand. I didn't think I did, but hopefully I have the right size in there. It looks like I might. So yeah, I have one larger one in there. So I'm going to assume I have the right size in there. So these are called tip tops, so you can order these online. And you can actually get them in kits. You need tip top glue. This isn't hot glue. This isn't regular hot glue. You can't use Elmer's glue. That's being funny, but you need this stuff. Alrighty, so again, we're not being too picky about the repair on this rod. And this thing's bit up quite a bit anyway. The old clear coat is actually breaking on most of these. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if it's the sun that was doing that or what, but me personally, I'm not a fan of the St. Croix anymore. I've had 4 of them, and they use some pretty cheap product. And even on this rod right here, they didn't put enough clear coat or epoxy on there, and I can see the threads. So that's just poor quality right out of the factory. And this one, same thing right there. I don't know if you can see that. That's just poor quality. All right, I'm going to stop ragging on St. Croix. All right, let's get down to business on this rod. So again, reiterate, not being too picky on this, just trying to make it usable again. So this is called the detail saw. Teeth are tiny, really sharp. So we got to pick out a spot to cut this. So if it were a really, really, really nice rod, I would actually attempt to see if I can break this epoxy off right here and try and save as much as I could of this tip top and maybe trim it farther up right here, but not going to do that. And I don't know if you can see this. You actually hear the threads. I don't know what they're doing at the factory, but that's junk. So they're going to cut it right about here. All right. Hold on 1 second. Spin it. Perfect. So perfect. No edges on there that need to be ground down, so it's good to go. All right, now here's the trick. We got to see if we have the right tip top in this bag. So I highly recommend, if you don't have spare tip tops with you, you should, especially if you're going on vacation somewhere far away. Hopefully I do. Man, I don't. All right, actually, this is something good to teach you guys, so hold on. I'm just going to pause this. All right, guys, so when picking your tip top, you need a couple measurements to choose the right one. So the first one would be to get the tip top of the blank right about here. So this one is 0.1, that's actually can go a little tighter. 0.153, so that converts to 4 millimeters. So that is your tube diameter you need to in order to order the right tip top. All right, the next measurement is the ring itself up here. So what you want to do is measure the ring of the next guy down, which would be this guy right here. And you want to keep the ring of the tip top the same as the next guy down. So the reason for that is if you say choose too small a ring, there's going to be resistance between this ring and the tip top. If that ring size is too small on the tip top and you lose casting distance, or if it's too big, it won't cast right. So you want it to be smooth. All right, so again, to keep consistent between the tip top and this ring, you need to measure the ring on here. All right, so it's about 10 millimeters. All right, I'm just going to show you on paper quick what I just did because it's hard to see with the black, the guide, and the frame itself. So what I just did was you measure the ring only. So it would be right about here. So just the ring. You do not want to measure the edges of the guide. That'll give you the wrong size. So again, to get your tube size, just measure the width of the top of the blank first. Ours is 4 millimeters, and then you want to be consistent with the ring size between the tip top of the next ring down. And that would be there, it's 10 millimeters. So, all right, I'm going to jump over to the website to order those parts. Here we are on the Mudhole website. So we found the tip top. So I said we need a size 10 ring and a 4 millimeter tube to replace the top of this rod. So have all your colors up here, scroll down, and then ring size right here. So we need to get the 10, and lo and behold, 10 millimeter ring, 4 millimeter tube. So that's all we need. $249. So this is a little bit of a nicer one, but and I recommend if you're going to buy tip tops, I grab a couple of them, especially if you have a favorite rod, or if this is your favorite rod and you use it a lot, you might drop it on the ground or tap it against rocks or that type of thing. You're going to chip the inner ring. So just get a couple of them to replace. So we already have the glue. All right, we're going to go ahead and order this. Alrighty guys, so I just got the tip top in the mail from mudhole.com. I'm going to see if it fits. So it was a 4 millimeter tube and then a 10 millimeter ring. So to put this on, what I usually do is heat this up. Quick, I'll put a dab at the end. So that's to help, when I reheat it, it'll grab the inner part of the tip top. All right. All right, now we're getting ready to put this thing on, so you want to be quick. So this stuff holds heat really well, so you can go ahead and throw a good amount of heat at it. Wrap that around. Shove this on. Alright, now just going to look down the center of it, make sure it lines up with the other ones, which it does. I just look to the side of it because I have space. That's it. Like I said, just go peel this off. I'm not going to show that. It's pretty self-explanatory. So you just roll it off with your thumb and it'll pop right off. So, alright guys, I hope this video helped you. And again, this is just to salvage a rod. One that may be old and broken, or maybe you snapped a rod tip off and you want to be able to fix it. This one did snap off in a weird place, but I was able to find the appropriate tip top, and we managed to save it, and it actually measured out really good. So I got this from the distance, so it's not bad. Yeah, it came out pretty good. So, all right, guys, hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe. Alrighty, guys, just going to do a real little recap on tools we used in this. So, detail saw, got this from Lowe's. I always have one on hand when I'm making rods and that type of thing. Rods, dealing with any type of wood, small detail stuff. Works good on cork. But again, use something with a small set of teeth on it. Do not use a wood saw. You'll rip apart the material on the blank. Get yourself a good caliper just to measure the blank where it need be, or rings for guides. This is in inches. Get them in metric. It's a lot more useful. And rod tip glue, this guy right here. So in the video I showed you how to use this. Say if you break the ring on the tip top, you can remove it with heat, so you just warm up the guide and the tip top will come right off and you can throw on the new one. So this video again was just to salvage a rod. Say if my friend couldn't repair this rod, it would sadly probably go in the garbage, but we were able to save it, and now we can use it for fluke instead of it sitting in his garage, sitting there useless, as a spare rod. And I'm hoping you guys can fix some of your rods that you may have damaged in the past. And if the rod had broken down, if your rod has broken more than 5 or 6 inches down the blank, I probably wouldn't save it. It gets to a point where the rod's just not usable. Rods in general, they have a functional length, and then the guides need to be a certain distance apart in order to properly manage the line on the blank itself when you're using it. If you have any questions, just feel free to message me. I'll be more than happy to answer. And again, I hope this video saved you some money, maybe fixed an old favorite rod. So if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe.